Today I'm testing out a new recipe that I think we could be able to use for the holidays. So I had 2 bags of Brussels sprouts and I quartered them up, washed them obviously before that, and I put salt, pepper, and a little bit of vegetable oil, and I mixed it all through, and I baked it in the oven for 30 minutes. And halfway through, I did give it a little stir. And then after the 30 minutes, I took that out. And while that was going, I prepared all the other ingredients that we're going to need for this recipe. So here it is, 30 minutes, 450 degrees. So I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to work on the rest while that's going. So the next piece was panko breadcrumbs and 1 tablespoon of butter. You just mix it up and you set it aside. And you'll see later on in the video, I wanted mine extra breadcrumby, so I did double that. So you probably could start with double that, maybe 2 tablespoons of butter and probably a half a cup of breadcrumbs. And just put that aside. And now I have about a tablespoon or 2 of diced up onion and maybe about a half a tablespoon of minced garlic. And I got it going just for maybe a minute. I added 1 tablespoon of flour and mixed it through till it looked like this. Then I added 3/4 cup of chicken broth and 1 1/4 cups of heavy cream. And at this point, I raised up the flame a little bit because I wanted it to start coming to a boil. And as soon as it came to a boil, I turned it off the heat. And I added a little tiny bit of cayenne pepper. You have to be careful because it's really hot. And a little bit of nutmeg. That was a little bit more than the cayenne pepper. And I grated up Swiss cheese. And I added way more than the recipe said. They said 2 ounces and my block was 7 ounces. But I wanted it extra cheesy. So I put tons of cheese in, mixed it through. And then I put it on the Brussels sprouts and mixed it all around. And while I was doing this, I was thinking you could probably make this ahead for the holidays and not brown up the breadcrumbs and heat it through at the end. Just after, I'll show you which point, I would stop and let it cool and put it in the fridge. And then when your company comes and you're ready to eat soon, that's when I would finish this off. So I think this would be a great one to make ahead of time. So I'm putting the rest of the Swiss cheese on it. Then I went back and I got those panko breadcrumbs from earlier. And I spread those over the top. And I wanted extra breadcrumbs like I said earlier. So I just made another batch and I added it on. But you don't have to do that. You could have just stopped at this point. And like I said, you could cool it off probably, put it away. Maybe you could do this even the night before or the morning that guests are coming and have it ready to roll at this point right here. But I need it for tonight. So the recipe said to heat it up for 10 minutes. And it's already pretty warm at this point, but I did it a little more and used the broiler and it came out perfect. So this one is a keeper.